Welcome to the booth. So what can you tell the folks, like, what have you been doing to keep it up now with the quarantine and all those, the craziness? How are you keeping your creativity going?
You know what? It actually, for me, it's been good because I haven't had to travel. So I get
Mm,
to really stay in and focus right now and just like get into music. So the
yeah.
quarantine, I know it hasn't been good for everybody, but for me, I love being on that stage performing and doing what I do. But musically, you know how it is. It's I had a lot built up in me, so I
Yeah,
just been able to get a lot out.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, even with our song, I already know like it's gonna be loaded. Like musically, it's gonna be fire, but like content-wise, we're gonna blow people's mind.
Yes, we definitely are. Look, we're gonna have to do a couple more joints. I'm telling you, it's like yo, for real. I'm telling you, it's like just
I'm
from the
ready.
the beginning vibes. It's like I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yo, we gotta.
I'm so ready. You can keep talking. Let me put a bit of the light so I can turn you around because my face was looking like a ghost. It's in the winter,
Oh, it's okay.
light skin start looking like a ghost when the winter comes.
It's all
Let me
good.
do it differently so they can still see you because they're yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
see somebody said, "Can me fourth true?" And I just went by do an album. Yeah, yo, it's like yo, fourth disciple and true master. Of course, RZA, like we all build, we still build. So it's like I was just talking to True Master the other day, and he's cooking too. So and Fourth just dropped the joint too, the algorithm, and it's fire. Um, so brothers is still working, and we stay in tune with each other. So hopefully we get that new, we get a new Wu album. I know I see Master Killer did a interview with one of these publications, and he said, and I'm in agreement with it, but the only thing I want to say is this, because he said, the last album should be produced entirely by RZA. I mean, I'm in agreement with that because RZA started it from the foundation, and Wu wouldn't be what it is without RZA doing what he did in the beginning, and I wouldn't be who I am as a producer without that influence and without the influence of True Master, Fourth Disciple, Inspect the Deck as well. So
Mhm.
I'm with that. The only thing I gotta say is I'm not looking forward to a last album. Not
I
yet.
was about to say, who's talking about last album? Like he said like you guys are already 90 or something. This should not be the last. This should no.
Yeah, nah, I'm with that because I'm a fan first and foremost. Like I'm a fan of all my brothers, and I want to hear it.
You guys cannot stop now. It's like saying that, after that last album is finished, we need more
Yeah,
of Wolf. So here's a question as well, hey?
yeah.
Let me see. Someone is saying, how did it feel? What was it? It was a good question. Because I would be wondering that too. What is it like? I don't even want to say helping. What is it like to be part of building the Wu dynasty?
Um, it's an honor for one because it's like, and at the same time, it's like even like when it first sparked, um, you know, I didn't have a I didn't have a clue of what was to come. You know what I mean? Because it's like I started off originally DJing for Jizza, and when everything was kind of forming together, it was like okay, like you seen it was something special. There's some type of magic, but in that day and time, hip hop wasn't what it is today. So I'm honored and I'm blessed to have been a part of it and to still be a part of it. And like I said, like as far as like my contributions, I mean I'm glad I can do what I do because when I stand around and I'm looking at all my brothers do what they was doing in that day and time, it's like, wait, hold on, I want to add on too. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I want to be here. It's like you know what I mean? Like, well, I want to add on because you seen something happen, you seen something magical happen, and you definitely want to be a part of it and help it further develop.
Wow, that's beautiful. Can you tell us? What was the
Filthy Rich,
greatest
peace.
learning experience with your brothers and with with the clan? What was the coolest learning experience that you always like till this day you sometimes think about that moment?
Um, I'll tell you what. I guess the coolest moment would be, to some it's not that cool, but for me it was like, even though I don't smoke Dutches no more, I remember when Meth showed me how to roll a Dutch. I didn't know how to roll a Dutch because we was all about, like, before that it was Philly blunts for me, and he was like, "Nah, this is how you roll a Dutch." So I was like, I was like, "Word," and the way he taught me, it's like I rolled it like that for years. Like now I smoke paper because them Dutches is no good for you. It tears you up.
Bro,
So,
I have no clue because I won't be smoking. I almost kicked someone out of my life because he was about to
oh,
smoke
smoke it.
with a
Oh
meth.
yeah. Oh yeah. You have a, yeah. Listen, as far as, yeah, singing goes, yeah, you can't, no. Because I know a couple of singers smoke and it just, yeah,
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 it ruins the
take,
vocal cords, like
yeah,
the
take
muscle.
away. Yep, yep.
That's so funny. So that's a cool thing of okay, you got to share another moment with us. So that was one.
Um, Another one would be, I mean, we had a lot of moments, definitely. Let me see. I mean, for me though, I say the greatest experience just being, um in the studio, like with the producers that I named, because that's what inspired me. So it's
Mm.
like for us, like, well, I'm gonna say for me, because I was the last one to start producing. Um, like RZA been doing it. Like I did it, in the beginning, a touch, like when GZA, was first on Cold Chillin' was getting off, and Jizz was looking for the new deal. So I remember me and him going in the studio, and I produced a few joints. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew what records sounded good, so I was just sampling at the time.
Yeah.
But then after actually going in the studio, and I'm seeing, and going to RZA Lab, and he breaking down, or like the way he was breaking down the beats, and I was like, whoa, hold on, like it's levels to this. And then going into the studio, being called to the studio, like, yo, you got any beats? When I did start producing, I come to the studio, and as soon as I get there, Fourth is already there. True Master's already there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
True Master.
Wait, you're locked up. Wait, you're stuttering. We gotta get the whole
Oh,
story. You're stuttering.
okay. Let me know. Am I good now?
You're good again. Because we need to
Okay.
have that story. You're like, oh.
Yeah. It was, like getting the call to go to the studio, and then when I get there, Fourth is in there already. True Master's there already. Riz is there already. And True Master, he got his EPS with him, and Fourth for his curves well. And I come up with my ASR 10, and I'm coming up the bat, and these dudes is playing bangers. I'm like, ah, shit, because it was like a battle to get on joints. It was a battle to have brothers rhyme on your beats. Because if I came to the studio that day and True Mass is banging Fish, it's like, all right, I'll be back. It's like I gotta go back, and I gotta come back with like the Cobra Clutch or something like that. You know what I mean? It was a battle. It was a battle. It was a battle,
That's
but it was a
that's
good
insane.
battle.
You're telling it like it's nothing, but this is insane. This is like history. The way you guys like formed the landscape and how you guys and till this day, I saw a few of you guys the advertisement about when Corona hit. You guys were in all the bus booths. Did you
Yeah,
guys do that yourself?
that's crazy. Yeah, I seen that too. I was like, wow,
Like
Wu
you
Tang
guys
lives
are
forever.
so important for even for the next gen. I think there was a loss of translation when it came to the 90s, the early 2000s, and then in between, I feel like the connection of your generation, musically wise, there was a loss of translation and it's coming back now, slowly but gently, because we need
Yeah,
you guys.
yeah, and I think what happens is, and I think it happens, you know, like when technology comes into play and things change, and
Mhm.
you have to change too, and sometimes you don't want to change, because you find your niche. It's not really changing. It's more or less like now,
Adapting.
I learned through experience. It's adapting,
Oh,
it's growing, and it's developing. And it's not
mhm.
necessarily you have to do what they doing, but it's like, wait, hold on. The sounds on that, some of them sounds in that train are dope. You know what I mean? Some of these new programs, let me mess with it. It might be something there. Oh wait, hold on. I can use this. I may not want to use or have to use all of it, but I'll find something in it that helps me push my music a little further. You
Amazing.
know?
So can you tell me, like, okay, from the technical side, right? Because we're in the studio, I gotta get,
Yep.
I'm a gearhead. I love to talk gear. So from your perspective, from the moment that you started, what has been the biggest change musically, like maybe equipment wise, or what has been the biggest shift you made?
The biggest shift, for one, is Sonics. Sonics definitely have changed. For two, I remember when Pro Tools came out, right? And I
Hmm.
remember I had to, like I was just getting my home studio together at the time, and I remember I was going to buy the reel to reel, the big 2-inch reel machine,
Yes,
and
yes.
something told me go with the Pro Tools because they had Pro Tools in the studio, like in 36 chambers. We had the Pro Tools and we had the reel to reel. So we was kind of using both at the time, but then I seen it was phasing more towards the Pro Tools.
Hmm.
So I invested in the Pro Tools, and I think that was a good investment. So I think and technology wise, I mean, like Pro Tools, of course, was the standard. It kind of still is, but now you got Fruity Loops, you got Ableton. I love Ableton, and you have Logic, of course. So like me, I still use my Pro Tools. I still use analog and digital. Um, my One of my sons, he's starting to produce now. He actually co-produced with me on the saga with Why, and he's
Okay. Whoa.
yeah, he loves Fruity Loops, and and I encourage him too. Like,
That's so
yo,
sick.
you ain't gotta do what I do. Do what you do, because he's like 20 years old, so he's like, you know, yeah. So I'm like, yo, go ahead, make that music. If that's what you want to do. Because musically, like I know, it's what's in you. That's
Mhm.
what you need to bring out, and you can't do it for nobody else but yourself first. Because if you're not happy with it, it's like at the end of the day, I want to be happy with it. And if people tend, or if they like it, or if they love it, I love it. That's beautiful. It
Yeah.
did what it intended to do. You know what I mean? But
So
I
question,
got it.
because first of all, it's crazy. Did you know, by the way, aside because I'm a proud Dutchie in a sense, half Dutchie. Do you know Fruity Loops is made by Dutch people?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a Dutch program. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. That's
But to
dope.
put that at the side, what has been the biggest advice you have given your son so far? Because obviously you're the pioneer, right? You've paved the way, but still, what has been your biggest advice you gave to him when it came to music?
I guess probably that advice right there to be himself and do him, keep it originally. And I always like he'll come down like he has a setup in his room, but he'll come down in the studio and if I'm working, if I'm doing something, I'll be like, yo, check this out. Like I always try to give him little tips of something that like I may be working on at the moment, just so if it goes in one ear and it goes out the other, which some things tend to do, it'll come back at a later date. Like, he may be working, he may be like, oh yeah, Pops is talking about this. Let me go ask him. Because I think that's what happens in life too. A lot of time in life, people will tell you something that goes in one ear and comes out the other.
Other.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then as soon as you come into that experience of it, you be like, oh yeah, that's what Mom's was talking about. That's what Pops was talking about, or that's what the OGs was trying to tell me. And then you see it, but it's better to see it, certain things, in life, like before it happens or as it's happening, so you don't have to deal with certain consequences. But in music, when you come across it, jump on it.
That's insane. That's such a beautiful advice. Like, obviously, as I said, it's your son, so he's good because you're his dad. So he's gonna be
Uh,
good.
I
So
hope so.
for everyone that doesn't have you as a dad, as a father, okay, right? So they don't have the grounds. What would you advise a beginning producer or artist?
I would say take your time because you have, you don't have nothing but time when it comes to music. Like I find like sometimes when you rushing and like you just want the beat to be done, you might put the wrong snare on it. You might put the wrong
Yeah,
kick on it, and it's patience because you have to find out. Okay, like how you said earlier, like the space. You don't want certain things fighting for space, or even your like different progressions. You want it to be right, or you want. I mean, it's certain things that's not really applied today. Just like the like the sections, like an A and B section or bridges, and and things of that nature. And I would say study music theory because a lot of things we did at the beginning, we did just off of street knowledge or just like of what we did. But as you learn and you be like, damn, I wish I would have did this, I would have did that. You start learning and you learn to get a better sound. You learn to get so it takes time. Be patient and just works. I say stay at it. You know, if 1 hour turns into 8 hours, it was 8 hours well spent.
yes. Yes, I love that advice. Thank you, man. That's sharp. Let me see if the people, because I have a bunch of questions. You already know. You'll be on the phone with me for 2 hours.
It's all
Let
good.
me
I
see
love
what
to
people
talk
want to
music.
ask. Let me see what they say. Or you guys are at least enjoying yourself. Will you put out a drum kit like a sample pack? Ooh,
Oh, I might because I see a lot of people do it, and my problem is I do have one problem. Like
yeah.
when I do, I will have to rename all my kicks and snares because when I make them, because I like sometimes I put different kicks, different snares together to get different effects. So
Mhm.
once when you do that, you're making your own, like you said, you're making your own kit, you're making your own snare, and I do that for all my tracks. But my problem is I name them all math kick, math snare. You know what I mean? I tried to start numbering them. At one point I did 1, 2, I got up to 5, and then I was back to math kick, math snare, the math hat. You know what I mean? So it's like, uh, but yeah, that's something I definitely want to do though.
Yo, you already know I'll be buying your sample kit for sure because I'm still stuck with Illmind sample kit. That's sick too, by the way, if you haven't
Oh
checked
yeah,
that out. His
yeah.
his sounds like what?
You
Anyway,
said
we're
ill
ready for
mind?
a sample
Cause
pack,
he's dope.
mathematic.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part you said.
I said the people is ready for your sample pack.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I know you was putting one together too, right?
Don't, it was a secret. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit. Oh,
That was good. I already said a few times, but yes, busy with it, and I have
oh
the
that
privilege
I'm
to.
glad I'm glad you put it I'm glad you put it out there and I ain't let it slip. I'm like, oh shit, like
I have the privilege to bother you here and there to ask for feedback, so I'm blessed. Let
not
me
a
see what
problem.
else. Okay, let me see. Bum 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 bum. Let me flip the phone, okay? So sorry for my YouTube folks. I have to. My hand is getting tired. What are your Someone is asking, what are your favorite produced tracks?
That I've done, um, they ain't come out yet. um the favorite tracks that I have produced that I love, of course I love Lesson Learned, Mighty Healthy, Cobra Clutch. Those are like some of my favorites right there. And I think just because of the modes I was in when I made them, like it's distinct feelings behind those tracks. Um,
Can you share some of it, or is it like personal?
well, like Cobra Clutch, I was mad. You know what I mean? But I was real upset at the time, and I just when I was younger, like, you know, when I first started out DJing, like that's how I used to vent my problems. Like I used to hit the turntables when I was mad. I used to just hit the turn, man, 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 man. So Cobra Clutch is like one of the first joints when I was mad that I really hit the board, and then that it taught me because when I heard what came out, it was that, you know, it's just so intense that the screams and everything. It was like I was like, yeah, that's what I was feeling, and I learned a lot in making that track. Mighty Healthy was like a little bit right after Cobra Clutch, and I was, you know, I was more mellow, you know what I mean?
You cool
Me,
down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, me and Ghost was building, and it was basically, you know, kind of explaining that to him as well, and just being in the park, and we got the whole park feeling. So, you know, the break beat substitution came into play, and you know that was the whole Mighty Healthy vibe right there. And then Lesson Learned was like one of the joints for me because I love samples, but you know it's hard nowadays. You already know the business aspect of samples is just
Yep.
um crazy.
It took
So
me a year to clear Kairos, a year and a half for all the samples. Like they're
see,
like 30, no more, like almost 20 samples on it, maybe 30.
oh yeah, yeah.
Don't start with the royalties, bro. Don't start.
Yeah, oh yeah. Listen, 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 listen. And I got sued for people who say, and I replayed it right, and they came at me and so first I had to send in my session to show them that it wasn't the original, but you can hear it's not the original.
What?
Um, yeah, you know what I mean,
So
and
explain to the people mathematics. Explain to the people because people are like, "What is he talking about? Replay?" Like, can you explain to
okay,
them the concept?
yep, yep. So you play over the music that from the sample. That way you don't use the masters, because if you
Mhm.
use the master copy of it, then there comes there. That's a big issue. You have to clear that through whoever owns that, whether it's the label. Yes, and money. It's definitely a lot of money. A lot of hands is out. So I try to avoid that problem and have the freedom to use it as I will. And you know, I do my due diligence. So when I looked it up, the record was actually public domain. It was a
Ooh.
public domain record, and they
Then who
still
came
sued
for
me.
money?
Well, the artist came, and the artist now, um, you know, I was trying to work out with them before because they reached out to me because they tried to even register it after I registered it. And it was a case I
What?
could, yeah, it was a case I could have won, and but it would have been long dragged out and even more money. And at the end of the day, um, I'm pro artist too, so you know, you know, I can understand if you didn't get what you were supposed to back in the day because you did create something. So
Mhm.
you know, you know, I didn't have a problem with that, but it's just that sometimes the way people might come at you, it's like, you know, come give me a handshake and greet me
Yeah,
eye to eye, man to man. Don't
yeah,
come with your gun out like, yo, like,
yeah.
cause yeah,
You know,
but
I think I think it's an American way of doing business as well. Everything is suing. It's like not instead of picking up the phone and be like, "Hey, man, I think I have a right, or this doesn't feel right. Can we have a conversation?" Like if the other person declined, okay, I understand the concept of suing, but you guys are
but
fast, like Speedy Gonzalez fast. You'd be like, "Meep meep." So
you right. People are, and it's like me. I'm not me. I'm just the reverse because I came from the sampling age. That's why it's like if somebody samples something of mine or something like that, it's like I look at it a little different. You know what I mean? It's like word, you use my joint. All right, that's peace. You know what I mean? And it's like I mean, and it, you know, I'm not. If they do it right, because I've been sampled before, and it's like, but then it's like I've been cut in too. Like it'll show up on my BMI statement. It'll show up, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's peace. Oh, my name is on it. All right." It's
Yeah.
like I'm not running to my lawyers like yo. It's like I'm gonna keep it moving because I remember Curtis Mayfield before he died, and Curtis Mayfield is one of my favorite producers of all time and artists in general. And people were sampling his stuff, and he charged nobody. And he was, he said, I seen where he said, "Nah, it's like it's music. It should be free for everybody," you know, and I really took to that, you know. But lesson learned was like the first song to me that I really accomplished what I wanted to accomplish as making a song that sounds like a sample that is not a sample at all. And
Amazing.
yeah, so that one right there is like one of my favorite joints.
Amazing. That's so beautiful. Okay. I don't want no any negative question. No, I see the last question. Come up with some different stuff if you guys want knowledge and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you guys can still post some questions up in here. Yes, I'm old school. Yes, you better call me ma'am. You know,
Respect me, right?
okay.
Right.
Math, did you have involvement in the Wu TV show? If yes, how did it come about?
Yeah, I definitely did. I worked on the show as a coach, as far as like for one, well they call it a what's the correct term uh like I work with all the actors because I'm like the the individual who's been around everybody. So it's like I've worked with all the actors to try to help them get into their characters. I did some production on the show. I also wrote a rhyme on the show. Um, when you hear a lot of the stuff that's being redone over, if it's not me in the studio with them and helping them get it right, it's Sean C. Sean C plays a big part. It's a lot of real good hip hop people behind the scenes. Sean C, for people who don't know, he's a DJ too. He was down with the Executioners, the X-Men, Rock Raider, Mr. Sinister, and them. You have Crooked Eye involved too. He does work on the show. You have Tech with Swain Tech. He's involved with the music on the show. But yeah, I'm definitely involved. We got renewed for the next season. If
There's gonna be a
you'll
next
see,
season?
you'll see me. You know what I mean? So 'cause it's like it's all gradual. Yeah, you should. I don't think I'm supposed to put it out there. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna just say you might. Let's just say that you might.
It's too late.
It's a
It's too late.
probability.
Damage is done.
It's a
We know
probability.
now.
It's a probability. Let's just say that because right now, like even though we got renewed, I mean anything can happen between now and then. You know how things happen. You know what
Okay,
I
but
mean?
we can get a next season though.
Definitely getting season 2. But yeah, I did work on a show. Definitely involved.
Amazing. Amazing. Beautiful. Good question, y'all. Keep coming with those good questions. Let me scroll a little bit. Mathematics, just a moment. Um, do you ever use drum machines? Man, that that's not even a question. I think you guys you guys
Yeah, I
made
got.
drum machine popular.
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I use my MPC. I have what you call it too that I use the pads, the machine
Machine?
with the yep. So
You like what do you
and
like more, MPC or machine? If you had to choose.
MPC. Um, yeah, just I guess because and I never was an MPC user. You know what I mean? It's just like I always used the ASR 10. But as I started, developing, I went to the MPC because I love hitting those MPC pads and the drums.
Yeah,
It's a different beast.
yeah, it definitely is. Even when it comes to the building compressor, I don't know what they do, but when you compare it to machine, it's just that
Oh
grittiness, you know?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's a good question. Let me see another. I just saw a really good one passing by. Wait. Um, how did you come up with your name, Mathematics? I'm trying to find my name. I'm stuck between two.
Uh, my name Mathematics comes from 5% Nation. My name is full name is Alarm Mathematics. When I first entered the nation, I got knowledge in like mid '80s. I had my name was Shamik Supreme, um, and I changed my name to Alarm Mathematics around 1990 because that's the foundation of all things. Everything, you know, whether you say God, you say Yahweh, Jehovah, um, everything is built on a mathematical principle. So, like 1 + 2 = 3, that never changes. It will
Mhm.
always remain. And in mathematics, we have what we call supreme mathematics, where it's a representation. So instead of 1 + 2 = 3, which is the same thing, is knowledge and wisdom brings forth understanding, and that never
Beautiful.
changes. Yeah, it never changes. So I applied that to myself because I like to, you know, I'm simple, and mathematics is simple. It can be complicated, but it
I was
always
about
starts
to
simple.
say, for me, mathematics is it's not simple.
Yeah, but it's a simplicity form. It's like 1 + 2 or 2 + 2. It's always going to be 4, and they always hold true. Um, So, and then as a DJ, the 1 and 2s, that's a mathematical compound. Music is mathematics. You know, you start dealing with bars, and you start, you know,
Mhm.
time signatures and stamps, and it's all mathematics.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, there you have your answers. I remember I asked you too, right? I was like, "Is that your real name?"
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because it's so cool, you know. It's such a cool meaning behind it. Okay, somebody saying, when is the new Wu-Tang Clan album coming? Will the Wu Elements do production on it? I think that's a in a process type of situation, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's just like, um, you know, I guess over time it will come into fruition.
I like that. That's a good answer. Um, Let me scroll a little bit, mathematics. Um, you don't ask people's age, Darren. Why would you do that? We're not gonna ask nobody. Don't answer that, man.
I,
Don't be asking people's ages. Come on. Okay, well, we've got 8 hours
he,
left.
he said my question is for you, Nicole. It's like
Oh, for
the same
me.
answer. The same answer apply, right?
I said that you know what they say about asking ladies their age, huh? You don't
Don't
go
do that.
there.
Uh,
And if you really want to know, Google, bro. Google.
and even
Let me
they
see.
got it wrong sometimes, all right?
Yes, that's true. Have you ever worked with any artist from the city of New Haven, CT? And if so, who? I have no clue what it is, but
That's in Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut. Nah, not that I can say. I worked. I think my man Buddha Bless, who was on Love Hello Right. I think he used to. I'm not sure if he was in Woodhaven, Connecticut at one point. I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
okay,
You know.
great. Next question. Who would you like to produce for?
Um. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, you always have like your favorite MCs you would love to do something for, collab for. You know, and like one person I definitely can say, and it would be like one of my favorite MCs to this day is Nas. And and he's a Queens dude, like I'm a Queens dude. So
It
I
would
mean,
be insane if you guys would do something. That would be
yeah, I
so
think
dope.
yeah, yeah, and that would make me, like different things make you step up to the plate. You know what I mean? It's like, I always step up, but it's like, even like the joint that we were doing. You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, oh, oh man, it's like that's why I said I'm ready. I'm ready to do a couple of more. It's like because it really makes you step up. It really do. It's like I guess it's like the same way how I was saying like the competition of going to the studio, and you know, all the other producers was in there. It's like it's a friendly competition, but it makes you step up because you have to. You know, can't come half-assed, and it's like, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Get out of here. I like
Word.
that. No, it's true, but for me, just to give the people a little bit insight, when you approach me, like I get so many people that send me messages like, yo, yo, yo. But when you send me, it's like, okay, I was really, really excited. Like, okay, what is he going to give me, right? And I was ready to be dead honest too.
Oh, that's the best. That's the best. I could take it. I'm a big man. I'm a big man now.
I know. So, but when I heard it, I was like, dang, this is so good. And I remember you just sending me the tracks, and I send you my IDs back. So people are
Yeah,
going to be up to something really good.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. When I sent it to you, you was like, okay, you was like, can I do something? I was like, of course. I was like, I was like, please. I was like, let me hear it. And it's like, yeah, it was just, yeah, yeah. It's like it just took it up there. So I already
Yeah,
know
you
what it's
guys are
going to
going
be.
to love the joint. Yes, the song that we're making is gonna be so cool. I can say
Definitely.
that with confidence. Okay, beautiful. So you guys have more questions? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. No, no, no. I'm taking questions from the chat, so you can definitely put them in. Let me scroll a little back. So for everyone that just came in, this is the legendary mathematics on my life. And this was not even planned. This is what I like the most. Just hanging out. Wait, let me see. Yes. Where's the next show with Doc and Math that's not postponed so far? I think everything is
Ooh,
postponed.
yeah, everything's postponed. It's like everything. I have no idea. It's like the way, I don't even know how they're gonna do concerts coming up.
Right?
You know, it's like so far. I think all the shows we did have was postponed to July and further down the year. But I think they probably gonna move those too. I
I
just,
heard someone say 2021.
might be.
I hope not. I hope
Yeah.
not. Need to get out there. Okay, next question. What's the coolest country, your favorite country to tour overseas?
Um. Oh, Amsterdam, for real.
You're
It's
just
something
saying
to
that because I'm from Amsterdam, bro.
No, no. Anybody who knows me will tell you. They will tell you. I love Amsterdam, because I do. I love the smoke. You know what I mean? So I love the smoke shop. I couldn't live there because I wouldn't get. I don't think I would get too much done. But I could stay there for a long period of time. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I remember, I did. I was out there and I did pencils out there for Jizza, and it was just like the whole vibe out there, yeah, I go to Amsterdam, do some work. I've worked in Amsterdam a few times. Like,
Well, next time you can't smoke in my studio, but you can smoke outside the door and use my studio though. So you gotta
not a
play.
problem. Not
I'll be like, yo,
yeah, see, and you know what, Nicole? That's good
but
because I'm one of those people. I don't have to smoke and work. Like,
okay,
I can smoke and then I get to work. You know what I mean? Because once
okay.
I'm there, I'm there. You know what I
I'll
mean?
bring
Because
you
I
to
know
the
some.
shop though. We have enough coffee shops. I'll drop you there and pick you up when you finish.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I know y'all got no shops. Like one of my flip. Well, I used to go to the Damn Cream, but they got too uppity back in the day after they did the what was that, the George Clooney Brad Pitt movie, Ocean's 12.
Oceans. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I stopped messing with them, but my spot is right there. Oh my goodness.
I
I
can't
see the
help you,
name
bro. I can't help.
right. Oh my goodness! And Dice is on here. Dice know the spot too. Oh my goodness! But yeah, it's alright. It'll come to me. That's too much smoking.
That's what I'm saying, yo. You should stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, someone is saying, oh, that's a funny question. This Fernique is throwing her shot in the chat and she's saying,
Oh, the
are you
greenhouse, the
married?
fool.
Yes.
A food. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. A food just hit me. A piece of food. The greenhouse. That's the spot. That's the spot. The greenhouse. Thank you, fool. Yeah. And you said somebody's throwing their shot. What happened there?
Oh yeah, someone throw her shot at you, mathematic. Here you go. Are you married, math? Asking for a friend.
Oh man.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to, though.
Yeah. Yeah. We gonna keep that one moving.
Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, next one. Let's see. We're gonna get another question.
Well, I'm gonna say. Well, yeah. We'll keep that one moving. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, I found out that
That was nice. You throw her a shot, girl.
my man Shroom is on here too. I think Shroom is from Amsterdam too. Word.
Wait, wait. Let me see. Who?
Yeah, the
Can you say it to me?
producer. Producer. He did. He do joints for like Eminem. He do a lot of joints. He dope.
What is his name?
Shroom.
Hmm, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, he went up a little bit. Oh, Letter P's in the house. That's my dude too.
Shroom. Ah, there. Shrooms.
Yes.
I didn't know you. I've never met Shroom yet.
Nah. Yeah, he a good dude. He a good dude.
See, that's really cool that he's producing that. Let's link the Colwell. You know where to find me. Send a message.
Right.
So anyone has a question? Let me YouTube. I've been neglecting you guys, so I'm so sorry. I'm online with mathematics. The one and only. Let me put it like this, but no, that's not gonna work. You guys just gonna have to do it with audio. Sorry. Let me see if they have questions. Oh, someone's asking mathematics. What are you watching right now on Netflix during the quarantine?
Yeah, I just watched this flick yesterday that was kind of dope. It was called The Girl with All the Gifts. And it's like I love scary movies and I love
Oh,
all types of movies, but I watched that yesterday and that was kind of banging because it
how
was
did
like
you
a
sleep
zombie.
afterwards?
What happened?
I said, how did you sleep afterwards? I
Oh
hate
nah,
scary movies.
oh nah, no problem. Like sometimes when I'm on the road, I try to find a real scary movie, turn out all the lights, and try to get scared, but it don't happen because I don't know. But yeah, nah, it was a good
I'll be
movie because
rebuking
it
in the
wasn't.
room. I'll be like, get out.
But that movie, it was good. It was different. I like different. I like uniqueness, and it was like a zombie movie, but it wasn't. But it wasn't scary. But it was sci-fi. It was dope. Like that was dope. Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. That was off the hook. That was banging. And then of course, I've been catching back up on my karate flicks again. It's like I just been going back and watching old karate flicks, and Netflix got a dope documentary on now called um, it's called Iron Fist and
I
Kung
saw
Fu.
it. Let
You
me check
saw
it.
it?
I saw it. Is it good
That
though? I was a
yeah,
bit
it's good.
skeptical. Yeah?
It's good. Yeah, and I finally got to see the guys. I've been watching karate flicks forever, and I finally got to see the guys that do the voiceovers because it's like you hear the same voices over and over when they do the dubs, and it's
Yeah.
like I think it was from the UK or whatever, but they showed a couple of them. I was like, oh, that's who they. It's like you the nigga I've been listening to all this goddamn time. Well, now.
I was raised up with Bruce Lee movies, so I totally get what you're saying. Like Bruce, the whole series of Bruce Lee, like the Dragon, the so and so and so, that was like our Saturday, afternoon flick. So I love that. I'm gonna watch it though, because I was a bit skeptical. I'm like, well, is it going to be from a Western perspective? Because it's such a cultural thing. You have to really
Right.
speak to the people that know what they're talking about and that lay the groundwork and stuff. So I'll check it.
Yeah, nah, it was definitely it was good. I like that. And then I've been watching a lot of the classics, like some I haven't seen in years. Like I haven't seen Seven Grandmasters in years. I watched that. I watched um Disciples of Shaolin. I watched that the other day. I got it, but I found it on Amazon Prime. And the crazy shit about it was that um sometimes they change titles to movies, and I couldn't find this movie for years. And then something
Hey, you're stuttering.
and I googled it. Oh, something told me just I couldn't find the movie for years, and something told me just Google what you think what the movie was about. So I googled the story, I put it in there, and it came up with the title. I was like, wait, hold on, that's. I was like, yo, I got that movie. I didn't pass by it thinking it was something else. So I
Wow,
watched it. Yeah, yeah, crazy.
that's crazy. But I love those moments. It really feels satisfying because you've been, in such a suspense. And then when you find it,
Right,
it's like, yes.
right.
Okay, let me see if they have questions on YouTube for you, man.
Okay.
Here's a question for me. Tell me something. If I would remake the song of Shaka Khan and Rufus, I'm not sure. I'm trying to stay away of remaking songs too much because I'm a musician first and foremost, and I love to honor the greats that did it before me. But I don't want to be, oh yeah, that chick that sings everybody's song. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like I even with
Right.
you, I did two, but I did like Charmel's and I did Wu. I did it in one.
Oh no,
So
you murdered those though. You murdered those, and,
thank
and
you.
you and you brought your own element to it. So that was a beautiful thing too. Because I remember like when I first like you know where you are when you first hear a song, and
Hmm.
when I first like when the song impacts you like that, you know. But when I first heard the cream joint, oh my goodness, I was we was that's the first time I heard it was when we did the when they was giving out the plaques for the when RZA was giving out the plaques and DJ Enough was DJing and he played the record and I was
September
like
was it,
wait
right? In September
yeah,
last year.
that's when it was.
September or October, you guys had a
It might have
25
been
years
October.
celebration.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. And I was like, yo, I said, hold the fuck up. I said, what is that? I had to go. I had to go find it for myself. Like I was like, and you hate to ask another DJ, yo, what record is that?
That's
But
so funny.
I had to like, yo, what was that? Who is that? That's yeah.
It's an honor to hear that from you. Like even when Ghost, because nobody told me, he didn't even told me. He just jumped on it, did what he did, and I remember I looked up from my phone and I looked at my sister. I said, I think something happened here, and I'm not quite sure if it really happened. I went crazy. I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that one right there. Oh,
yeah, it was beautiful. Wait, let me
yeah,
see.
yo, yeah. You had me in here trying to sing like, baby, baby. I can't sing. I wish I could. Uh,
Okay, new question, by the way. What does it feel
okay.
like when new artists pay homage to the Wu legacy?
Oh, I mean that's always and that's one thing. Sometimes I know like Wu-Tang, we have like the hardest fans, like they don't accept nothing else but Wu sometimes, and with some of these young cats, you know, uh, to me, I appreciate it because it shows that they listen. Somewhere down the line, somebody introduced them to us, and for them to honor or show some type of love, uh, uh, I mean, to me, that's a blessing, and I don't put down none of them shorties. Like sometimes they like, oh, he don't know what it's about. It's like how you know what he know. You know what I mean? He's wearing it for a reason.
Mhm.
And granted, some of these people, some of our fans may not like, but listen, I respect them for one honoring Rule,
Mhm.
for two, just doing what they do. Anybody that does music, anybody that makes a record, anybody that gets into the booth, they get my respect. You know what I mean? And that's
Mhm.
not saying that I gotta like everything, just like you don't have to like everything, certain things. But you know what? they went in there and they did the damn thing. You know what I mean? Even if they got a #1 record and you don't like it, they did the damn thing. You know what I mean? So you always gotta you know, so and music lives, it goes on. And sometimes it may not be what you like or your cup of tea, but it's somebody's cup of tea. You know, let them have that. Let them, you know, yeah, let them have that.
I love
Yep.
that. Well, I mean, because of you guys' legacy, you know, and your contribution of how's it what's the right word?
Contribution.
Anyway, contribution
Contribution.
to music, I was able to get this right here. That's my first, okay?
Oh,
You
that's
know,
peace.
so definitely big shout out to you guys for the love as well. I think that's the biggest compliment you can get in return because
Yep.
I remember making the album. I was like, okay, with the team, we're gonna, you know, honor Wu. We're gonna do something for Nas, Mary J, Lauren. So the yeah. It was just me because I've been a vocal coach. Me exactly knowing the mathematics behind Lauren Hill's vocal cords and trying to actually take that as a piece to honor her because she's been a huge inspiration, right? So with the project, the only thing we thought that I felt like that was our baseline. Okay, we're gonna create music, needs to be timeless, but we're gonna honor all the greats that came before us and paved the way for music. I'm not talking about computer music or you know, like the duplication music. I'm talking about music from the heart. If it's jazz, soul, R&B. So you guys were one. Nas, we did a tribute to Biggie, tribute
Yep.
to Mary J. Blige, who got the 411,
Yep.
Alicia
Yep.
Keys, Destiny's Child, I already said Nas, Kanye, we did Quincy Jones, Stevie Wonder. We had, if you listen to it, you know, we're like, we have to. And that's why you guys are one of the few that actually came back to me and be like, yo, thank you.
Yeah, listen, we all love music. And Ghost is a big lover of of music. Like me and Ghost, like we vibe on a lot of different music together. Like especially like in the early days, we used to travel out. It's like groups like New Birth and the Stylistics and Delphonics. It's like, and you see, Ghost, even on his album, he had the Delphonics on his album, and it's like and one thing that I think that's what our fans gotta understand too, and you can't hold you can't use a certain criteria for somebody else because just there'll never be another Temptations group. Like, there'll never there'll never be another Wu-Tang
No.
group at Wu-Tang, you know. But you'll have other people come out and do other things and make their own legacies.
Yeah.
Like whether, like I said, never be another Temptations, but there was a Boys to Men, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There never be another Wu-Tang, but then there was a Cash Money, or there was
Mhm.
so you have other people doing similar things, but setting their own bars. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Doing their own thing. And I think that's where when people try to compare, like, oh, they not this, they not, nah, they doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And that's what music is. Music is
True.
to
And
do
I
your
think that's so important as well in this time because,
and
as I just said,
appreciate.
I didn't mean it to sound it like a jab, but I do think the majority sounds alike and everyone is trying to copy this, again, this math
You're
thing
right.
that they see works for others, right? But when you said you got to build your own legacy, I think that's so important, and I think that that's what you guys embodied, and that's why I love old school music so much. Because when I listen to you guys, when I listen to a Mary J, if I listen to Alicia, I really sense that the core of their fundamentals. Oh wait, yo, their Instagram's gonna kick me out. Are you coming back? I'm coming back again. Are you coming back, Meth?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because
It's
they're
getting ready
kicking
to
me
turn.
out in 10 seconds. Wait, they're
Oh,
kicking
okay.
me out.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Okay.